Welcome to the Leadership in Law podcast with host Marilyn Jenkins. Cut through the noise, get actionable insights and inspiring stories delivered straight to your ears. Your ultimate podcast for navigating the ever-changing world of law firm ownership. In each episode, we dive deep into the critical topics that matter most to you, from unlocking explosive growth to building a thriving team. We connect you with successful firm leaders and industry experts who share their proven strategies and hard-won wisdom. So, whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting your journey as a law firm owner, the Leadership in Law podcast is here to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to build a successful and fulfilling legal practice.
Welcome to another episode of the Leadership in Law podcast. I'm your host, Marilyn Jenkins. Please join me in welcoming my guest, Lem Garcia, to the show today. Lem is the founder and managing attorney of Lem Garcia Law, one of Southern California's fastest growing personal injury firms. Starting with just a few $1,000s in family support, Lem transformed his practice from the ground up, achieving a stellar reputation and multi-million-dollar results for clients. Known for his innovative client-centered approach, Lem has built a brand that emphasizes accessibility, trust, and results in an industry often viewed as complex and impersonal. I'm excited to have you here, Lem. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited too.
Absolutely. So I love the way that you approached a client-centric approach for your business. Tell us a bit about how you got started.
Well, I started the office 10 years ago, just by myself. I was the only person here. And I wanted to have an office that was really a place that the community can come to for help and have their legal questions answered for whatever kind of problems that they had. So I didn't start out in handling personal injury only. It was a lot of other things: estate planning, workers' comp, social security, disability, and personal injury. I thought those were things that I could focus on. There wasn't much in the area for that. And then the first couple clients that really helped out financially were personal injury cases. And I thought it would be best to focus on that, not just financially, but also for the community, something that I could really get really, really good at and just really hone in on that and provide the best service possible and gear everything towards that. And, it just started out in 2014 and then just, slowly built out the practice, got good reviews. And then once we got, maybe like 5-10 reviews, so that was kind of new at the time, things really started to pick up, and it's been going well since then.
Fantastic. And that's a milestone I try to challenge people to at least get to 10 reviews. And if you don't have enough clients to get 10 reviews, ask your service providers for character reviews. That works as well. So congratulations on that. That sounds great. How long did it take you to really niche down to one specific practice area?
I think it was probably the first settlement that I had where I said, you know what, this can work out. I think if I just tell the public, like, this is all we're doing, people want to hear that. They say, okay, that's all they're doing. They're really focusing on one thing. So I would probably say first client was probably like 6 months after opening. The case settled for $30,000. We got $10,000 from it. And I said, okay, that's one case. We can hone in on this, focus on this. And then that's when we dropped all the marketing for everything else, and then just focused on that. And the website, Yelp, everything that went onto social media was strictly for personal injury from there on.
Fantastic. Yeah, do one thing and do it really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And when you say that you have a client-first approach to your marketing, how do you accomplish that, and what do you mean by that?
Well, I think whenever I'm doing, just from the beginning, from marketing to a client's first phone call throughout their case, I'm always putting myself in the client's shoes, and I'm trying to think what kind of experience are they walking away with? What are they going through? What questions do they have? How do they want to be treated? So I always think about that and try to answer their questions before they even ask it. Give them what they're looking for before I'm even aware. Just trying to get into the mind of the clients, of the public, and give them what they're looking for. Provide value to them provide as much value as we can from the start. Just giving out free information, someone calls in, if they have questions, give them the answer to their questions without trying to pressure them into signing up, right? Or
Mhm.
if they even have a problem that wouldn't give us business, still give them the help that they're looking for, maybe some advice or some information, or give them at least the direction, give them someone that they can call to get the answer that they're looking for.
I love that. I love that because, at the end of the day, this is maybe the only time in their life they're going to need a personal injury attorney where, you do this every day. So I love that you turn the thought process around. And I'm sure that's part of your culture and your team, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think from the start, everyone that's come through here and everyone that works here now, they know that we're here to help the community. And a day doesn't go by where someone says, "Hey, Lem, I have someone on the phone asking, with this issue, do you have time to talk to them? Or do you have someone that they can talk to?" And they give me the facts of what their case is about. And I say, "Oh, let them call this person, let them call that person, or give them this information, or give them this website so that they have something to start off with instead of just saying, 'Oh, we're gonna handle that,' and then, say bye." Really
Yeah.
provide value to them as quickly as possible, and as much as we can.
It sounds like you work your network as well. So you're cultivating a network of people that can help anyone that you can't help. That's a
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
admirable way of doing it. Yeah.
Whenever I find someone that does something where I know that could provide value to our clients, or just someone that I think, "Oh, somebody would probably call for that," I make sure to keep their number and their information so that when someone does call, that we're ready to give out that information and share it with the caller.
I love that. I love that. And it's certainly taking care of customers, whether they become a customer or not. In the beginning, when you were doing marketing for the various different practice areas before you go to staying with the personal injury, what types of marketing were you doing? Because I understand that you started with a lower budget. So what were you doing to get your name out there?
I mean, anything that was either low cost or free, I think. I mean, number one, I was really into SEO, like myself, like the website. In
Mhm.
2014, I think it was pretty easy to rank high. I mean, things are different now with how many changes have gone through the algorithm and everything. But back then, I could just, put out a bunch of content. And I did the website. I figured out how to do a website, and I just created a bunch of content and put a bunch of pictures that SEO optimized. So things were showing up
Right.
pretty quickly. Like my face was showing up for a car accident attorney for a bunch of different cities. And I did that a lot. And then social media, I emailed and messaged everybody that I ever knew, that I ever knew. And I just messaged them, and I gave them physical mail. Said, "Hey, let me get your address. Let me send you something." So that they would know that, we're open for business. This is what we do. Yeah, I mean, I used to blog all the time, put that onto Facebook so people could see, okay, this is, some information that can help me in the future. And I think, I got clients slowly from that, but that's how you start. You just get the word out there. Don't be scared to put your name out there. Don't be scared to fail, and just let everybody know that, you're open for business.
I love that. Very guerrilla marketing, but it works, right? You just tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, print out business cards. Anyone that you meet, give out your name and information. You never know. It just takes one client could lead to, many more. It's just a spark, and that can just continue to spread.
Nice. Now, when you say that you built a five-star law firm from scratch, so now we've talked a bit about your marketing. When you finish a client, so you have SOPs and plans that your team has to follow and asking for reviews. Is that something that everybody that comes into your office or does business with you is asked for?
Yeah, I think, we're really focused on making sure that the clients are happy from start to finish, so that when their case is over, we have like little things that people can scan, and
Mhm.
they probably found us through a review, right?
Right.
Or word of mouth, which is like 50-50, I'd say. But they're already aware that they found us online, and we remind them, "Hey, thank you for letting us help you." And we look back how they found us and say, "Hey, you found us through a review. Could you also help others find us when they need help?" And that what you can do is leave us a review too. So as far as setting up SOP, yeah, I think everyone in the office knows that we need to get a review at the end of the case.
Fantastic. Yeah, it does. You need more reviews. And if you're doing a great job, people are normally happy to do it. Do you find that you need to ask multiple times for people to actually do the review, or are you just consistently getting good reviews?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think we try not to ask multiple times, but we do make it as easy as possible for them. We would text them and then maybe later on email them and give them, not necessarily, I mean, asking, sure, but we're giving them a link so that it's easy for them to do it versus saying, just saying, hey, leave us a review. Just make it as easy as possible. Because if you remove as many hurdles that you remove, it makes it that much easier for them to do it. Yeah, but at some point,
Exactly.
they're not gonna do it. So it's
Yeah.
okay.
Not everyone will, but sometimes, you have to ask at least email and text because, people just need to have it and make it whichever one's easiest for them. At least you've given them both options.
Yeah, and people do forget. So it's not like you're actually badgering them or bothering them. They actually do forget, and people do need a reminder. Because I mean, people have asked me for reviews whenever I get my car fixed or I go somewhere, get some food, and they ask me, and I say, oh yeah, and I fully mean to, but then I forget. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it
Well,
once they remind me. Yeah.
yeah. And life happens, right? And sometimes just something interrupts you and you forget to do it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, but yeah, reminding them absolutely does help.
What's your plan to grow your law firm's sales and profits in 2025? My name is Marilyn Jenkins, and I want to take a quick moment to share something I'm super excited about. It's called the Law Firm Growth Guild. It's your shortcut to mastering marketing and getting more clients. It's sponsored by Law Marketing Zone. If you're a lawyer or a law firm owner who's been feeling overwhelmed, juggling clients, leading your team, and trying to scale without losing your sanity, I get it. It's a lot. That's exactly why I created this online membership community. I've been working with law firms since 2018, and I've worked with and helped hundreds of firms across the U.S. and Canada to grow and scale their firms beyond where they had ever been before. The Law Firm Growth Guild is designed to help you understand marketing strategies and grow your firm smarter and to scale your firm predictably. And here's the best part. It's only a fraction of the price of a cup of coffee daily. My team and I are adding new content weekly, and you can be intentional about your growth and development each week. All of our webinars and workshops are in the community, and a first good workshop is all about setting your vision for your strategy for 2025. We've got workbooks, spreadsheets, and everything to walk you through setting up your marketing plan for 2025. Getting crystal clear on where you're going and how to get there. Imagine walking into this new year with confidence, with a plan, and with the tools to make 2025 into your best year yet. Don't get left behind. Join the community now and jumpstart your growth for 2025 and beyond. Click the link in the show notes or visit checkout.lawmarketingzone.com to find out more and to join the community. Let's grow your firm together. I can't wait to see you on the inside of the Law Firm Growth Guild.
Excellent. So I see that you have 2 or 3 locations.
Yeah, we have several locations. Yeah.
Do you market your Google business profile for each location, or are you focusing on one?
We're focused on two of them, on West Covina and then another one in Oceanside. A
Mhm.
couple other locations we haven't focused as much because we want to make sure that our base is West Covina, so we want to make sure that we stay strong where we are here, our
Mhm.
main office, and then the Oceanside is something that we're branching out to, and maybe once that one gets a stronger foothold, we can focus on other ones.
Okay, very interesting. It's always interesting to see how obviously the main office is the first one you want to really make sure you've got a foothold in.
Yeah.
What do you find is working or is not working very well right now with marketing? I mean, not counting this last 2 months because it's being the end of the year, but what typically is working well for you?
What's working well is word of mouth has always been the best at taking care of clients and making sure that we're first to mind when someone they know needs help. So we
Mhm.
kind of, cultivate those relationships, making sure that I like to meet with clients at the end and then, email them every now and then, just kind of saying hello. As far as also SEO is huge. So I don't handle my SEO anymore. I stopped doing that. I think probably 4 years into it. I got to a digital agency that's doing a great job, but SEO is huge. That's a bit of help. Yelp is really helpful. So a lot of online Instagram has been helpful. As far as not working for me has been like more traditional media, like radio or print ads. We had a billboard before. Those I didn't see as much of a return on. I think, the billboard is interesting because people still remember that I had one, and
Mhm.
they think they still say, "Oh, I see your billboards," and I haven't had one for like 5 years. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
still in their mind. So maybe there's still other kinds of returns. I mean, it's really hard to say, but no one has ever said I heard you on the radio. So I don't think that had a lasting impact. And then some other print things. It's really hard to say because in the end, like what does work is most people say, "Oh, we found you online."
Yeah. The billboards and print are difficult to monitor unless you use like, a tracking phone number individual for each board. But that's hilarious that people still mention your billboard and it's been 5 years since it's been up. That's
Yeah,
a
there's also
that's a pretty
another
strong brand.
there's another attorney that I don't know. I think he might like we look alike. So we think they might be conflating us too. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Sure, I'm glad you saw.
Okay, thanks. Oh, how funny. That is crazy. So let's talk a little bit about obviously your team, multiple location, motivation and discipline. How does that play into keeping your culture and keeping moving forward? How do you manage that amongst your team?
Well, I mean, I think number one is setting an example for everybody on the team. After a big win, I think some people's reaction might be like, "Oh, take a day off, take a week off, or go home early." But I'm still, I come in every day. I still, if a big result comes in, I'm not going to go home early. Like, so do I think about it? Sure. I want to go home and celebrate? Sure. But I still, come in and make sure that, I'm doing what I need to do so that we can continue to grow. I think if I didn't do that, yeah, I think we wouldn't be where we are today. And then just as far as, yeah, I think that's just really shows discipline, and hopefully, those around can notice that. And then as far as, yeah, it's really important to make sure that you take care of staff and provide incentives and pay them well so that they can also continue to grow and do a good job for you.
Excellent. Yeah, I love that. I see the two schools of thought about, you had a great win. Now let's go take some time off and celebrate it. But at the same time, it could be a real motivator to just keep going. Let's do it again, and celebrate the win in a constructive fashion, but just keep going and let's get more of those.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. What do you see as your next big thing in 2025?
I know I really haven't put much thought into what's coming ahead for 2025. I think, well, there's one thing I've been having just every year since 2020. I wanted to start a podcast of my own and do what you're doing, talk to people, just kind of chat with people, get insights from different people, and provide content to the public that's valuable to them. That's either informational or entertaining, a little bit of both. So I actually have like just in front of me, like I have like a setup, but I haven't had the time to take it off the ground. But I think 2025, I've been saying like, this is the year that I actually start creating some content on my own and putting it out there.
Excellent. That's exciting. And there's quite a few attorneys that are doing a local based podcast where they're working in their community to become an authority. Obviously, a podcast and a book are two ways to become an authority, but interview local businesses and kind of getting their name into the network part of it. Are you thinking about doing something like that, or more in your industry? Do you have a direction? Is it
I've
just
been thinking
an
really,
idea?
really broad, not just like a legal podcast. I think it's just about what providing value to the people, to the community, whether locally or even broader than that. So just whoever I can get on that's interesting, that can provide value to people, that's either informational or just entertaining, and just see where it goes. Really, I'm not saying, oh, I want to just have I actually don't want to just have a legal podcast. I want something that's a little bit different, than my career as a lawyer. Maybe provide some insight as a lawyer, but just have guests that talk about a wide variety of things.
That sounds exciting. All right. That's a great thing to move into for 2025. And I know that fitness and health are really important to you. Is that part of your company culture as well? Or is that just something that keeps you centered and going forward?
Oh, yeah, that's just health and fitness is just something that's like important to me. I think that just keeps me mentally sharp and have, energy for the day. And yeah, it's just something that I need to do to stay at my best. And of course, I don't know, I think just like leading by example is important. Hopefully, people can see that these positive habits are, a good thing to have, and they incorporate that into their lives too.
Fantastic. And you just have such an incredibly rounded practice and person. You work with philanthropy as well, right? You get involved in your community.
Oh yeah, so we have an annual scholarship. We take we ask college students, what would they like to do with their law degree when they become a lawyer? Like, what impact can they have on the community? And then we take their essays, and then my wife and I, she's a lawyer as well, and she's integral part of the office too. We read these essays and then award annually the winner some money so that they can use that for their, their career and their legal education. So we do that, and then we have some outreach in the Philippines where people were affected by a typhoon out there. And then we gave just some basic supplies out to them that to the community that really helped them out. And then more recently, we were part of a project, and it's kind of ongoing, where we refurbished a basketball court in the Philippines so that the community just has something. Because basketball is huge in the Philippines, I think. I mean, I would probably say it's bigger than any other sport in any other country. Like how much the people in the Philippines love basketball. I mean, they'll play basketball during a flood, like when the water's up to their knees.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and it's just huge out there, and being able to provide a court to them that's nice and refurbished with a nice hoop that's been dilapidated over the years is really just something that we're able to do that. It's just been really gratifying to be able to provide that to them.
That's super impactful, but not hugely expensive.
No, it's not. Yeah, I feel like the amount that we spend to do it, and then the return on it is huge. Because I mean, basketball is a relatively cheap sport. You just have a nice hoop and some nice concrete, and you can go and have a great time. And that's really that's what I love to do. So it's really gratifying to see that.
Wow, that's exciting. You are absolutely inspiring. If we're thinking about the people listening, what's the one takeaway you'd like them to get from this episode?
What I would like people to know is that if they just really believe that they can achieve something, that they can do it with enough hard work. And I think the first step is believing that they can. And, even though there's people that saying that you can't or giving you doubts, if you can get past that and tell yourself that you can, just continue working hard and you can make it happen.
I love that. Goals and aspirations, and just know that you can do it. One foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I know my listeners will want to reach out to you and connect with you. Where would be the best place for them to do that?
Email me, my email, lem@lemgarcialaw.com, or even reach out to me by my cell phone, my 626-252-2168. You give me a text. That's the best way to reach me. I don't answer many calls, but I see a good text, so I'll be happy to reply to you.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I'll make sure that information is put in the show notes for you. And thank you so much for your time. This has been a great conversation.
Oh, thank you. Pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Thanks for joining me today for this episode. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do two things. First, subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you find value here, I'd love it if you would rate it and review it. That really does make a difference in helping other people to discover this podcast. Second, you can connect with me on LinkedIn to keep up with what I'm currently learning and thinking about. And if you're ready to take the next step with a digital strategist to help you grow your law firm, I'd be honored to help you. Just go to lawmarketingzone.com to book a call with me. Stay tuned for our next episode next week. Until then, as always, thanks for listening to Leadership in Law Podcast, and be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss the next episode.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Leadership in Law Podcast. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of law firm owners out there facing similar challenges and striving for the same success. Head over to our website at lawmarketingzone.com. From there, connect with other listeners, access valuable resources, and stay up to date on the latest episodes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, keep leading with vision and keep growing your firm.